Howdy folks, welcome back to Vintage Story. It is the 8th of November, and I've been busy. You may notice there's no trees around. That's because they're all in here. I decided my little three cubed charcoal pit wasn't quite enough. Now that we're going to be making steel and need more charcoal, so I made a 5x5x5. And I've been working on getting it filled up. We're not quite there yet. We're getting close. But I ran out of trees right around the base. So we're going to have to do a little looking around. I need to get some stuff dropped off. And this stuff is just about done. You can see some of the bricks have taken damage. So those will need replaced. Oh, it's complete. Woohoo! Break to retrieve blister steel. Awesome. Well, let's go check that out. I'm going to throw my broken iron axe head in here. Can I double those up? Nope, they don't stack. I've got some meteoric iron bits because I made some meteoric iron stuff. Yeah, on our shiny new iron anvil, I can shape meteoric iron now. So I made a couple of axes. I went through the rest of the iron axe and a whole other iron axe, chopping all that wood. So that went fairly quickly. So I've got two meteoric iron axes. Made myself a meteoric iron scythe because we'll really go through that when we harvest grass and stuff. And then I made a chisel because I might do some serious chiseling at some point. Anywho, let's go break the thing. I think we can just break that open with a pickaxe, if I remember correctly. That's how you're supposed to do that. I'm going to get my toolbar set back up like it normally is. I had that because I was harvesting lots and lots and lots of trees. You see all those pines, all those oak. Everything's gone. All the pines down there. One of those has a resin on it, so I didn't chop it. But yeah, there's a lot going on. I think I might also need the tongs, because that thing is still super hot. So let's grab the tongs. I don't really know how this works. That's cool. It like actually breaks the brick apart. So I think, from what I understand, before we can use it again, you have to replace those. That's got to be hot in there, right? Let's try hopping in. Nope. Fine, let's do this. Can I break this from here? I'm assuming I can't just walk in here, but... Well, here goes nothing. Oh yeah, look at that. Granite stone coffin lid. That was lots of bloops. What's my temperature doing? We're 99. Okay, we're fine. So we got our stone coffin sections back, and then we got our 16 blister steel. I'll have to look into what we're supposed to do with that. And we got some charcoal back? I don't think I had charcoal on me, so I think we got some charcoal back. And then, okay, so everything is reusable. That's cool. We just burned up some charcoal, basically. Neat. So a couple things I want to do. I want to figure out how the blister steel works in this video, and also want to fill up the big charcoal bit and get that going. Let's pop that up there for now. I wonder, do you have to put this in a bloom ring or something? Let's hit H on that. Blister steel. Blister steel is obtained via the steel making process. It must be refined on an anvil to turn it into steel. Oh, okay. So we just hammer on it. Kind of like an iron bloom then, I'm guessing. Let's test that theory. I wonder if the Helvhammer will work on it. Though this is business bronze, that is iron. Something else we can experiment with. Okay, well that's heating up. I I probably should redo the entrance to that so I can have like stairs up into here. That would kind of make more sense. Let's see if I can put this back. I believe it faces away from you. No. Faces towards you. There we go. And it's set up for next time. Whoa, 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 whoa. Let's not die in there. So once I put the coffin back in, it flares back up. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, so and then we're cool to stand on here if there's no coffin. Okay. Well, now we know. We'll have to get those repaired before we do our next batch. But let's not worry about that right now. Let's put this stuff back over here in the chest. Doink and doink. You can stay right there. Let's get a little bit of a heal on. In the new version, the heal is heal over time, but I'm still running on the 1.20. All right, let's grab that. Do that, and then if I put that on there, can I... Okay, cool. So the health hammer will work it. I don't think the head matters, but the anvil matters. Neat. I'm guessing we could maybe just turn that into something right after we pick it up. Yeah, look at that. That's cool. I don't know what I'm going to do with steel yet, so we'll just harden them for now. Actually works up pretty quick too. We got a decent breeze going. Let me do this. Keep that going. Nifty. So we got a steel ingot. Very cool. Let those heat back up. For bits. Yeah, look at it get hot. That's so cool. Well, we got wind. Heat up, heat up. No, I don't necessarily need all this charcoal. It just makes me feel better. I've got plenty of fire in there. You can min-max it if you want. Okay, that's green, so I think we're good to go. Oh, yeah. Can I stack these on the floor? Let me go ahead and get these guys heating up. Let's try that strategy and see how that goes. Key is to not step on these. Alright, we're a steel-making fool. I want to temporarily move those up so we got more room in our hotbar. I don't know why those didn't stack, but no worries. Those are coming up to temp. I've got factory bricks in there. There it is. Well, that's the actual, yeah, that's the actual bricks. This is the blocks. We get some bricks back. Cool. All right, let's get back to our steel making. So one more charcoal on there and we should be good. Cool. Got steel at last. Now we just need some cheese. Think about making some steel and or meteoric iron weapons to hunt with, because they should have good damage, but I didn't see the spearhead in the meteoric iron list. So maybe that's not a thing. Peridite, copper, tin, bronze. Yeah, the spears only go up to bronze. There's a silver spear. If we look for spearhead. Tin bronze, bismuth bronze. Yeah, okay, you can't go above that for spears. Okay. We have an iron short sword head. What can we make with steel? Tools? Oh, we can make a falx. Can make steel arrows. That might be the thing to do. But I'd hate to lose them. Yeah, looks like pretty much the falx is about it for steel. As far as weapons go. What's with the padlock? Lets you lock doors and chests. Interesting. Does that be for multiplayer, I guess? Do people PvP in Vintage Story? I've only seen people play nice with each other in this game. Maybe it's not always like that. Okay, we're coming up to temperature. Nice. Okay, that's all the steel we need to heat up, so we'll just let that go. Not much visual difference between the blister steel and the steel. You gotta look kind of close. Okay, we're gonna have a little heat left. These are still workable. I might work these last two up into something. Yeah, there we go. Alright, turn you off. Where is the falx? Falx head? What's the difference here? Does that take 2 ingots, but then you'd be better off making the 6, right? Let's check. What do we need for this? Guessing I need a second ingot? What am I missing here? Why would it have the recipe for less? Some of this manually so I get bits back. Huh. Okay. Not sure why you'd have that then. Unless that's from a mod. I didn't actually look at that. Maybe it's from a mod. Okay, let's get these guys cool enough. Just make sure I switch back because I was working on something else off camera and forgot I was on punch down mode and was just here hammering a hole through something. Whoopsie. There we go. Alright, I think that's enough smithing for now. That's really cool. It took a little while to get here, but we finally have entered the Steel Age. Woohoo! And I've got more steel ingots. And I've got some steel bits as well. Pretty sure those go into the bloomery, just like the other stuff would. Refractory bricks we can throw in there. We do need some food. This is rotting, so we need to eat it quickly. All those pies I made a while back, they're basically turning into rot. So this is kind of mushy, yucky stuff, but we'll choke it down. We got some lead, we got some silver. I don't really have a spot to put my steel, do I? Let's put that there. Can we mix? No, we can't mix types. Alright, well, I will stick the lead over here. Like that, and then we have a ton of feathers. That's not a problem. We'll take some sticks with us. Let's go turn these into arrows, and then it looks like it's getting on towards dark. Probably will sleep through the night, and then go chop some wood. Lost my train of thought there. That's my little running in through the door, don't have time to put stuff away basket. You guys have one of those? Alright. Sticks. Got plenty of sticks. So we'll leave like 13 here. We'll put this in our stick box. Actually, let's just go ahead and make these. So we got 18. There we go. We'll leave 18 in here. That'll work. And then, oh shoot, I forgot to grab my feathers. Oh right, I put the feathers. I put those in a box? I moved the feathers somewhere else. Walnut, birch, clay, stone. Yeah, here we are. Doink. They were taking up so much chest space. We are 18 steel arrows, so they have a 2.5 piercing damage. And only a 7% chance of breaking, which is nice. So we have 1,427 feathers. We're good on feathers. I'm gonna get distracted if I come out here. We'll leave that for another day. What am I doing? I need to grab the bricks and put them away. I was keeping those in here. Those over there like that. We have, this is all crushed bauxite. So much stuff. Thought I had a bunch more oak seeds somewhere. What did I do with my oak seeds? I think they're in my storage room and I forgot to grab them. I got through those in my primary box. Yeah, here we go. Need to plant some trees as well as cut some trees down. So there we go. How's your bow doing? Bow's doing pretty well. In between episodes, I did kill a bear. Unfortunately, he killed me before I killed him, and then I came back and killed him. But yeah, we had a nice little fight over here. Didn't get that on camera, but it was just me throwing spears and panic stacking dirt blocks. Nothing terribly exciting. These are done, so there's always stuff to do around here. Let me just do some miscellaneous stuff. We're going to turn those into paper. I need shears. Yeah, we need shears to turn those into paper. So we can do that. I also need to cook up meat soon, but I think I've got at least a week or two before that's a problem. Let's go make these into paper before I forget, because I do want to label the rest of those crates outdoors. And then it'll be about time to sleep through the night. And go chop some more wood and try to get this charcoal pit going. There we go, 11 more pieces of paper. You're supposed to be able to put these on there, right? Is it Control T or something weird? Yep, oops. Open to close. Remove or add parchment on. So parchment plus Control L. Oh yeah, it just gave me the insufficiently set up command. No handlers or subcommands set up. Okay. Was it Control Shift L? Nope. Control. No, that still pulls it out even though if you're holding parchment. That does nothing. That does nothing. Well, I guess I'll have to empty these out, put paper on them, and do it the old-fashioned way. I'll catch you back here in the morning, and we'll go finish up the charcoal pit. All right, it's a bright, crisp November morning. 6 degrees. Got all my labels back on there. Let's go find some trees. We need to choppy. I want to leave those big trees by the dock. They're kind of meant as decoration. So I think we'll head this direction. We can go see what we can find. Got a bunch of little birch trees and stuff. Kind of like to find some bigger trees. And yeah, there's forest over this direction, so let's run that way, see what we can find for bigger trees to chop down. Over here's where I was fighting that bear. So hopefully there's no bear over here now. Big old black bear. It's that one I saw in the video. Oh yeah, I forgot about this this weird chunk generation. That happened with some update at some point. So that's a thing. Don't know how that's supposed to be fixed. I guess I could fix it in world edit mode, but oh well. And just look at that. Gotta love a nice sunrise. We'll see how well this meteoric iron axe chops. Turnips. Don't mind if I do. Little turnip for breakfast. And some 21% spoiled pie. Good. Alright, we should probably climb up this and do a little trimming. I don't have just a ton of pine cones. So it wouldn't hurt to grab a couple more. You're much more likely to get those using the shears versus just chopping down the tree. I have more sticks than we can shake a stick at. I know, I'm hilarious. The tall old tree. We made it to the top, though. Yeah, we better not hop down there. Sometimes if the tree is not super tall, you can hop down and just chop your way to the ground. I think we'll leave this one be. Yeah, we got almost a whole stack of sticks just from this tree. Oh, this is a resin tree? You're killing me, game. You know what? I've got plenty of resin. I've already chopped the limbs off. I'm next door to a giant pine forest there by the base with a bunch of resin trees in it, so we are not hurting for resin at all. All right, that chopped pretty fast. This is a maple. Yeah, maple. I don't necessarily need to plant a bunch of maples, but it wouldn't hurt to plant it just for firewood, I guess. Also, if we can get a seed, I've always meant to test. You're supposed to be able to throw those in the air and they like flutter down like a real maple seed. So we will definitely try that out if we get lucky enough to get a seed. Yeah, look at there. We got a maple seed, so we'll try that in a bit. A very branchy maple tree, as they tend to be. Hey, we got 2 seeds. Look at that. 3 seeds. Awesome. Let's hop up here. And then if I... That's not very exciting. I guess they kind of twirl, but I thought they would fly more like the real thing. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. Let me know in the comments. All right, how are we looking here? Let's get to chopping. Less talky, more choppy. Yeah, this axe chops right through them. Is this peat? What is peat? Look at that. Oops. Yeah, even with the whoa. Even with the tree I hadn't sheared the limbs off yet, it chops through it pretty darn quick. All right, I'm going to chop some more trees, and then we'll go fill up the charcoal pit. I will see you in a bit. All right, last tree. should pretty much fill me up, I think. Pretty close anyway. Got a bunch of vines as well, which is good for making rope. Yeah, we're pretty much full, so. Hey, bunny. And also I'm getting cold. So let's run back to base. A windmill in the distance. Looking good. Whoa! Lots of snow mushrooms back there. And I'm going to do, I think, a little terraforming before I replant all those trees. Smooth it up a bit. That's why I haven't replanted yet. I did replant these oaks right here. But a lot of that I'm going to do some terraforming before I replant. Was this got his horn? Yeah, I think all the heat's gone, even though it's still glowing red. It's alright, we'll duck in here, get warmed up. So let's put all the tree seeds in here. I'll be planting over here by this building. And then we can go ahead and make some rope. Those vines. Donate those to the cause. I do need some food. This is 40% spoiled now, so it's going to be almost no food value. So our temperature is still 90. Yeah, we're still kind of freezing, so we're going to head down to our kitchen area. Down in here is considered a cellar, so I think this will help us get warm. Yep, that's not going to quite go. We'll just throw that there. Let it rot in peace. 94.3. We're slowly warming up. I might actually have to light a fire. Let me close that. That's closed. Let's chop some wood indoors and see if we can get warmed up. I like having these 5 slots clear because then I can just stack to the ceiling with firewood. So that's why I've been doing that. Didn't really count to see how much wood we needed to go. How we do? Oh, we're out of wood. All right, we'll temporarily put some here. There we go. Wow, we're a third of the way through even a meteoric iron axe. That is crazy. How's the temp doing? 96.4. Yeah, we're not doing the best. Throw some wood on there and then we'll refill that stack. If I had the inventory room, I would go cook some food, but we'll just use the fire to warm up for now. There we go. All right, we'll come back down here if we get super cold. Let's head back up to the charcoal pit, get that thing finished off, and hopefully lit up. If this is enough wood. I don't know if this is still enough wood. It's 125 stacks of firewood. It's a pretty tall order. So I believe those are all complete and we were working on this one. Yep, that's what it looks like. All right, so that guy's full. And let's start with our 5. Yeah, you're all stacked to the top. No. There we go. Perfect. I think we're gonna fill it up. There we go. Now we can start climbing out of here. Oh no, we're about 2.5 stacks short. We were close. Close, but no cigar. So close. And yeah, I am out of wood. Oh, that did pull in there. Whoops. It's okay. We'll climb out here and then we can just stack our way to victory. And I need just a couple more, let's call it 2.5 stacks. Let me just grab that from my stock. For my winter supply up here. We've got plenty of firewood in the old homestead here. There we go. That should be plenty. That's 3.5 stacks. We'll have some extra down there. And then we're going to need one little sliver of grass to get a fire started. I think that and this block are just going to be packed dirt. And the rest will just stay like as a permanent structure. Okay, that is 32. I'm gonna add a little more decoration here. There's our grass we need. Like that. I forgot to keep 4 wood for the fire. There we go. Light her up. There we go. 125 stacks of firewood. Burn, baby, burn. That's gonna be a lot of charcoal. Looking forward to digging out that beast. All right, the sun is setting. It's getting flipping cold out here. I think I will call that an episode. We're right back here where we began, but we have a whole bunch of charcoal cooking up. And we got some steel. Thanks as always for watching, folks. We're going to continue the series on for at least a little bit. Even though I met my main goal of getting to steel. We're going to use those steel tools. And we'll see how the goats go. I might get into some cheese making, but don't hold your breath. But we've got a few more adventures to come here on this version. Thanks as always for watching. And I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.